Hi everyone, thank you for joining me again today. I thought we would do some alcohol ink work and alcohol ink and some stamping, and we're going to use several substrates. We're going to do them on Yupo paper, but we're going to make a bookmark, a fridge magnet, and a greeting card. So I thought I'd start with the fridge magnet, and I'm just going to bring down some alcohol ink. Now this is Pinata, and yeah, actually they're both Pinata. I know that because I bought them in the 4-ounce jars, bottles, and put them in these little needle nose bottles, and yeah, it's much cheaper that way. So I'm going to use green and yellow for this one. I think I need a little bit of alcohol to get this moving. I'm trying to maintain a bit of control here so that I have room for the yellow. Now I think I want to bring some of that green right to the edge. So I'm just going to use my finger. And this also gives it a different values, some depth. And I'm going to bring my yellow in. Just a touch of isopropyl, and then move this around. Let's bring my finger in. And then some yellow on this side. I see I need to bring some more yellow here, so not a problem. As you can see, I'm moving the blow dryer in different directions because I want some of this gradation, sort of, you know, this layering. I don't want it to be just solid like that. So I'm going to come in just with a drop more and try to create more. Let's go in with my finger. Create a little bit more of that textured, layered look. Now I'm going to dry that because I want it totally dry before I come in with a stamp. And I'm going to use a bumblebee stamp. And I did create this so that the lighter color is here and here, because that's where I want to bring my stamp in. It'll show up on the green, but it'll show up better on the yellow. So I'm going to dry that, and then we'll come back and put our stamp down. Okay, so my ink is dry, and I've wet my stamp with archival black ink. Now you have to be careful because this Yupo is very slippery, slick. So I'm just going to set that down, make sure I know where I want to put it because it'll move if you're not careful. I'm going to hold this down for 10 or 12 seconds. Obviously with Yupo paper, it's not porous, so you have to get it down as best you can and then dry it with the blow dryer. And what I'm going to do today is do all 3 of our surfaces with the alcohol ink and then come back and apply them to the card, to the bookmark, and to the magnet. Okay. That's a pretty good impression. Now I can come in and, now do I want to? I think I will. I'm going to come in and put, be coming in from the edge of the paper. So I'm just going to wet my stamp again. And just have a partial B coming in from the edge here. So I think what I'm going to do is either on the card face or the bookmark, I'm just going to draw something on top of my ink. All right. Actually, they came out nicely. Nice and dark. And I think they came out nice and dark because I just added extra ink to my ink pad. So, yeah. So that's the front of our fridge magnet. Now we'll do our card face. Okay, so I've decided on lime green from Pinata, and then this homemade color. I don't know how I made that color, but it looks pretty to me. If I can figure it out, I will put it in the description. Actually, I don't think I'll go with the green. I think I'll go with this pretty color, magenta from Pinata, and a yellow, and this is again from Pinata. So let's start with the magenta. I think I'm going to put a little bit of isopropyl alcohol down first, then bring in my magenta, and then move that around. Again, I'll get in there with my fingers. Such a pretty color. Okay, let's come in with this funky color, whatever it is. It's sort of a turquoise. Now I don't want this to take over the magenta, so I'm pushing it a little bit away. Okay, and then we'll bring in the dryer. Now I'm getting too many solid areas, so I'm going to make this a little bit more wispy and bring in some more alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Okay, that's a little better. Let's bring a little up here too. Okay, well that's turned into quite a green color from the turquoise. Now heat must have changed the color somewhat. I'm going to use some yellow. Yellow works anywhere all the time in my books. Okay. Now I think that's very pretty, but I think I want to bring some more yellow down toward the bottom here just to break this up. It's not going to come out solid yellow because it's going to mix with these colors obviously, but I do want to too much solid color here. So, and we're just creating new colors, so that works too. A little bit more of the yellow down here. We want it to come through, so I'll use my finger to get down to the yellow. Okay, that's quite beautiful to me. I'm going to dry that and we'll come in and draw a flower. Okay, so I've dried this totally. Now I say totally because your pens, whether they're micron pens or Sharpies, especially micron pens, have a hard time going through alcohol ink. So you want to make sure it's totally dry. Now my instinct is to draw a bunch of flowers on this, but for today's sake, I have other alcohol ink videos that show doodling, which would be more flowers and, you know, patterns and designs. So for today, I'm going to just do one big flower. And what I'm doing is adding some alcohol to this Q-tip to create the center for my flower. So I think this is about the center of this little painting. Now I'm going to paint that black as soon as I get it clear enough. And it takes sometimes a couple of Q-tips. And make it smaller than you want because it will spread. And one more shot. I think we can get the black in there without a problem, now that we've lifted up some of the color. Okay, that will do. Now I'm going to dry that. And come in and draw my flower. I think I'll start from here. If my Sharpie will work with me. This is a really big flower. This is coming right out of the painting. No solid lines. I mean solid lines, but they're wavy. Okay, so this petal is totally in and the rest are coming outside, which gives it a little more interest. And then we're going to make our center. And we're going to fill this in with some wavy lines. Lots of wavy lines, leaving a little space in between. I'll do this petal and then I'll go off camera and finish it, so you don't have to watch me doing every petal. I think you'll get the idea from this one. And when you're coming to the edge of the petal, now the petals aren't going to be flat, they're going to be rounded. So you want to make your little wavy lines somewhat rounded too. So they're coming toward each other. And the lighter your touch, the easier it is for this ink to get laid down. You press too hard and it seems to be resistant. Okay, so I think you get the idea with that. Lots of wavy little lines. And in between the petals is going to be darker. So I'm going to put a little bit more of the ink, my pen work, at the corners of, you know, where the petals meet, along here. So just form a sort of little triangle there. And make it a little darker. Okay, so I'm going to finish my petals and then we'll come back. So I've drawn all my little veining, my little lines, and I've filled in my center with black. Now I'm just going to bring a little more black in from the center out toward the petals. And that's about it. This is our card face. Okay, and you see this is like a dogwood in my mind. So I put the little folds here to indicate where it would be darker on a dogwood or some kind of flower like this. I mean, just let your imagination go wild. We're not going for realism, so we have all kinds of liberty here. All right, so that's our card face. Next, we're going to do, what have we done? We've done our magnet, our bookmark. So we'll be back in a flash to do our bookmark. Okay, so let's do our bookmark. I thought I'd change it up a bit with the colors. I'm going to use Tangerine from Pinata and Butterscotch from Ranger. Sometimes these tops can be hard to get off. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I'm going to give it a shot with these colors anyway. We'll see. Can always add something different if we choose. I'm going to lay down a little bit of alcohol. And then start with, let's start with our orange. Oh. A little bit, make it a little bit more substantial. I think we can always take some away with our alcohol. Okay, that looks good to me for now. Let's bring in our butterscotch. A little bit more. Now, as you can see, if you put the alcohol on top of the Yupo and then have your alcohol ink on top, it's going to float a bit. Okay, and bring our butterscotch over here. Okay, I like the effect we got there. Now I'm going to dry that. We need to put a little bit here. I'm going to dry this to make sure we have a good dry surface, and then we'll come back and do our stamp. So I've dried that. Now I'm going to come in. I thought for a change we'd do a butterfly. So I'm going to ink my butterfly. And again, this is the archival ink. And I have a little floral down here that I might use. I'll put the butterfly down first and then see how I feel. Okay, let's put the butterfly right about there. No special reason why. And as I mentioned, you have to hold this down for a little bit, 10 or 12 seconds, because it's such a non-porous surface that this ink takes a while to get picked up by our Yupo paper. Nice Okay, let's try, just to add another little point of interest, let's try this little floral bush, or stem, I guess. And another one down here. Yeah, I think I'll put a little more ink on. What I might do is bring another one up here, because we're going to be heavy on the bottom and light on the top, so. Oh, maybe just bring another little stem here. Yep, yep, that works. So I'm going to dry this, and our bookmark face is done. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how I apply these and to what surface. So back in a flash. Okay, so everything's ready to be put on its substrate. I wanted to show you here, you can't see very well, but it's a sheet of magazine backing. And it's what people that collect magazines, comics, and things like that, they slip them in a cello sleeve and they put these backings in to keep them stiff. And they're also good for shipping. I use them for backing for my fridge magnets and for my bookmarks. And you can find I found these on Amazon. You can find backing for frames, but they're much more expensive than these magazine ones. These are 11 by 14, I believe, is the size of each sheet. And you get, I think I got 50 or 100 sheets for about, around $35. So it's the cheapest way to go if you're going to use them as backing for your bookmarks and for fridge magnets. Now, they're not quite thick enough. I mean, you could get away with one sheet, but I glue two together. I want my bookmarks to be fairly stiff. Not too thick, but fairly stiff. So there's a bit of play, but it's strong. Okay. So here we have our first little project, which was for our fridge magnet. This is my backing. Now I'm just going to glue that with tacky glue. Glue my little alcohol painting onto this backing. Now I like to glue, one side is slicker and smoother, and then the other side's a little more matte and has a little more grip. So I like to glue on that side. So yeah, just slide it on. Tacky glue is quite forgiving, so you can move it around. Now if you find that your little alcohol ink painting is a little bigger than or smaller than your backing, that's fine. You just trim that off. And then these magnets I bought again on Amazon. Now I've cut this to size for this particular piece. You just peel the blue part off, and these are quite sticky. For a long time I was adding tacky glue, but I really don't think that's necessary. I mean, this is quite sticky. So you're going to apply this to your fridge magnet like that. So this whole area is magnet. And then just trim it down. easy enough to do. They're just regular pair of scissors. And then here. And for those that do markets, these sell really well. So there's our little fridge magnet with our bee stamps. Then we have our greeting card. And again, Amazon. I have no craft stores near where I live. So I depend on Amazon a lot, which is unfortunate because Amazon's a big conglomerate. But, you know, you do what you have to do. So I'm using double-sided tape for this because I find if I use certain glues, it will affect the other side. You'll see, you know, little bumps there from the glue. So I like to use double-sided tape for these cards. Now sometimes I use a thicker card face so it can handle the glue, but these are fairly thin. And these were came in a pack of 50 with the envelopes, and that was from Amazon. I don't remember which company it was. Just hold on. American Crafts. Okay, so we just take the back off the tape. Oh, and just so you know, I also sprayed each of these objects with varnish, Kmart varnish, and I did 2 coats. Okay, I want to make sure I have this fairly even. That looks good to me. Okay, and that's our card face. Now, as you can see, I used a white gel pen to put down some centers on this flower. Now, when you put the varnish on, it will dull any white gel pen that you have used. So after I put the varnish on, I just come back in and redo. You know, you can wait until after you put the varnish on, but so I'm just redoing the center here with the Signo gel pen, white gel pen. And again, this just helps make your little painting pop. Little tiny lines rather than dots, or a mixture of both. Okay. So that gives you a little more depth too. So yeah, and then we have our bookmark. And this I just glued down with crazy glue, or sorry, not crazy glue, with Aleene's tacky glue. Oh, I put it wrong side up, of course. When I'm here by myself and working, I never do that. It's only when I'm on camera and I feel pressed for time. That's when I put it down wrong. Okay. Fairly close to the edge, not right at the edge, it's going to seep over, but quite close to the edge. Now once you put your, once I put this on, then I can punch the hole for my tassel and then add the tassel. And again, you can get those tassels online on Amazon too. I think you get 50. They work to about maybe 15 cents a piece, something like that. Okay, I just wanted to show you too another surface I did this morning before I started this video. I did these 2 this morning. So this just gives you an idea what it would look like. Excuse me, what it would look like if you left some white space, which I think is a good idea to do. that looks good to me, having the white space there. So yeah, just some different colors. So there's our 3 projects. Our, this goes this way, our card face, our fridge magnet, and our bookmark. Oh, excuse me, talking too much. I really hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed doing it with you. I love working with alcohol inks. Such vivid, beautiful colors. You can get pretty creative. And you have to understand they're not just for little paintings like we did this morning. Fridge magnets, bookmarks, all kinds of uses. So yeah, we'd love a thumbs up. Sorry. If you haven't subscribed, today would be a great day to do that. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to press that notification bell so you get notified each time I upload. So you folks have an absolutely fabulous day. And I think that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.